What's going on, guys? Anybody else just tired of these damn injuries all the time? I know we are. We're going to break down the studs and duds and the waiver wire pickups that we're looking forward to this week. Stay tuned for another episode of Touchdowns and Trash Talk. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Touchdowns and Trash Talk with me and Big Time Sean. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, another great fantasy week, bud. Just another great fantasy week.
So, I, of course, am in too many leagues, and the only one I won this week was against you.
Well, I'm just a revolving door of wins. If you need to get your team on track,
Man, you are the fantasy football bye week, my friend. I'm so sick of these damn injuries, man. Every week an injury.
It's a nowhere out. We're in two leagues together, and coming in through last night, I was playing up another one of our friends, and he had Josh Allen. I was like, okay, I got Cook going against him. No, right before game time, just decided to.
Yeah.
I stubbed my toe, so I can't play.
Yeah. I think he destroyed a lot of people by just being kind of out of it because it didn't get announced that he was questionable until Monday. By that point, you were kind of limited on what you could do.
Well, if you're anything like our leagues, you're locked out anyway. You
Yeah.
can't pick anything up for 24 hours. So
Yeah.
you're just winging it and hoping that you had somebody else going.
Oh yeah. It
was
brutal. It was an awful week. And the worst part about the injuries this week, it wasn't like you had guys that went and had great games and then got hurt. It was like they got hurt in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Looking at you, Chris Olave.
Oh, Olave going down, Etienne going down. Oh my Lord.
Go dare or not go dare. Shoot.
Goddard.
Tight end for the
Goddard going down. I was like, you've got to.
I'm already looking forward to basketball.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly. You're really looking at basketball season going, hey, it's all right. We're almost done. Jesus, man. I know I've already started watching hockey, just like, all right, I'm moving on. This has been brutal this year with all these injuries.
Yes, it's been really strange.
What?
Strange, the injury bug.
Yeah, my biggest duds of the week, of course, is just the entire Dallas Cowboys team. I mean, Dak Prescott, I thought this was going to be a shootout. The one thing you can do against Detroit is throw the ball, unless you're Dakota Prescott. He can't throw it to anybody. He is all $60 million a year for this guy. Wow.
I love the fact that they gave up the most points I think ever scored in Cowboy Stadium on Jerry Jones' birthday.
Oh, that's even better. That's even better.
I was like, oh, that's happy birthday,
Yeah.
Mitch Jones.
Oh, that's so awful. So
Wiped your butt with $60 million. Here you go.
Cooper Rush, what did he play? What, one series or two series? Something like that.
I honestly didn't even watch that game.
Yeah, that game was over. But
I caught the highlight of Aiden Hutchinson breaking his leg, and I was
man.
like, oh, that could be a career ender.
Yeah, that one's
not.
pretty brutal. Yeah, that one's pretty brutal. That's going to be a while before that gets back. And God, who knows if it's going to be the same.
Exactly. Looking like the Alex Smith break.
Mm-hmm. That's what it looked like. That is exactly what it looked like.
Oh, that one's not good.
No, that could be career ending right there. Unfortunately, he was just coming to his own too. He was a force, man.
Oh, he was rolling this year on defense. I think he was like one or top three in like every spot that he's measured. So yeah, that's a sad break right there.
Yeah, just awful. But
you're gonna have the guys that are looking on the other side going, it's just karma. They were up by 40 points. Why are their starters in?
Yeah. Unfortunately,
you've got a point if you look at it that way.
Yeah,
you're up by you were up by 4 scores with like 4 minutes left. Why are your starters in there?
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I think they might regret that. But now news is out that Max Crosby, you saw that he sent out that, I guess, that post with him in a Lions uniform. I guess I heard.
Oh, that's. Wait, can we just not talk about my Raiders?
No,
today?
man, we gotta talk about your Raiders because they are the big favorites.
That Devontae is moving over to be a Jet now.
Yeah, Devontae is gone, and he made it official. He is now a New York Jet, so they can struggle in New York together because that team. I mean, offensively, they looked better last night. I mean, but
yeah,
nothing great.
Well, that was Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson's best game, I think.
Yeah,
that they've had in the 3 years that they've been together, other than practice. And if not for a Mike Williams slip and fall, they might have pulled that game out.
Well, Mike Williams slip and fall. Greg Zuerlein missing 2 gimme kicks. 32-yarder, man. And the second one, I was like, man, that thing had a huge left hook on it. But that first one was just awful.
Did you not see? Oh, yeah, the first one, he like stubbed his toe or I don't know, tripped over something. But did you not see how the wind took that second one?
Yeah, the second one, yeah.
Just like, no, thank you.
No, that thing I was like, oh, he got that one. All of a sudden, it just took a left right in the middle. I was like, whoa, look at that thing swirl. Yeah, that was pretty bad. But hey, the good news is listen, that Cooper Rush came in for the Cowboys yesterday. Going back to that, he only scored 4 fantasy points less than Dak Prescott. Yeah, it's so brutal.
I don't know why they re-signed Dak Prescott that big of a contract.
Yeah.
They don't have the money to sign Micah Parsons now, which is
it's brutal.
dumb.
Now, if you would have at the beginning of the week and I said, hey, who would you rather start, Dak Prescott or Will Levis? You would have went Dak Prescott, right?
Should I have said somebody else?
Yeah. You could have won with Lord Voldemort and went with Deshaun Watson over there. You still would have done better.
Yeah, it was. Had Joe Flacco.
Oh my God, Jesus! I'll tell you what. I don't know what the Dallas Cowboys are going to do going forward, but that team looks horrendous. They look good.
Get rid of every offensive player that start over.
So bad. I mean, you're paying.
You know what's sad? As bad as Dak Prescott is, there are teams out there who are like, please give him to us.
Yeah,
let us have him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Cleveland would love to have him.
Yeah,
because man.
Cleveland would love to have him. The Raiders would love to have him.
Tennessee would love to have him.
Right now would love to have him.
Yeah.
Tennessee would love to have him.
My God.
There's teams out there that were like, yeah, we'll take him. And his noodle arm with no accuracy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awful. Just awful to watch. But yeah, that was my biggest fantasy dud of the week. There was a couple others that really just did not show up. Let's see. James Conner.
The injuries did a lot of damage.
Oh, they did a ton of damage.
They did, steamrolled most people.
Just funny. Travis Etienne was a dud. My God, he finished the game with -1 yard. He's friggin' awful. Saquon Barkley was garbage. What happened there?
They took away the run game and tried to make Jalen Hurts be a passer.
Yeah,
which ultimately he was. I mean, he threw 2 touchdowns and a couple hundred yards, but that's not what their game plan was going into that game. You could see it when the run game got off track. They were like, "What do we do?" It's not how we practiced.
Yeah, it's unusual because that's usually Cleveland's weakness is the run defense. Usually that's where they struggle.
They just loaded the box and A.J. Brown was like, "Hey, I'm still here."
But yeah, that was another big one. Who else was a big dud to you?
DK Metcalf got some stats, but he knew as many balls got thrown at him.
Dude, he had 11 targets, bro.
I know, and
none of them worth anything.
No, he had a couple of chances, a couple of touchdowns, but of course, Geno Smith has the accuracy of me throwing a baseball, so it's not good.
Just awful. And then it was Drop City with Jacksonville. I don't know how many passes did those guys drop.
And Calvin Ridley crying, just throw me the ball.
Calvin Ridley in Tennessee, that one was brutal. Yeah, he was like, I had targets? I love that comment. What did you think about I had targets? What? I had targets?
Who's throwing me the ball?
He had, 8 targets. One he caught, and then they stripped him, so it was a fumble. And the other 7 weren't even catchable. I mean, Will Levis is terrible. Todd, I hope you're listening. That guy is garbage. I gave him way too much credit in the preseason. I said he was going to be the next Jameis Winston, and Jameis Winston is way better than he is.
I mean, you're not really giving anybody credit when you call him the next Jameis Winston.
That's what I said. I gave him too much credit. My God.
Awful. You're gonna have 30 touchdowns and 32 interceptions.
Yeah. Gave him too much credit for that one. Just awful. Awful. A lot of the guys I thought would go off did not do anything. Of course, I liked a lot of people going in that Dallas game. Tolbert didn't fucking do anything for me. Oof. God. Awful.
I almost put in a waiver thing for him. I was like, Brandon Cooks is out. they're going to double CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
Tight end's not that great. Here comes Tolbert. Give him a shot. I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't waste any more money on that guy.
Bam. Then I thought maybe there'd be some fireworks in that New York Cincinnati game, but man, that turned out to be low scoring.
Not for
football.
Anybody that yeah. We're talking about baseball still, right? The surprise of the week.
Yeah.
Mark Andrews scores a touchdown.
I know, right? He had actually, how many targets did he have? He had quite a few targets, to be honest with you.
I don't know, but of course they start throwing him the ball when I've got him on the bench.
Yeah, I dropped him in one while
for 3-4 weeks, just dropping. He's useless.
Yeah.
And they come back, they finally throw him the ball. He scores 20 points or something.
Yeah, he had 16 in our. He had 4 targets, 3 receptions, 66 yards, and a tutty.
Yeah, that's what you expect him to get.
Yeah.
You expect him to get that, and that's the first game of the season that he's had.
I held on to him for so long and then finally dropped him. Finally, I was like, I just can't hold on to him anymore.
I know.
And it's
bench spots are dying and just,
too many injuries. In every league, I'm out of IR spots. I can't even put anybody on IR. I just have to drop people now. Oh,
God. I've been holding on to Brooks since day one, waiting for him to come back off of IR, and he should be coming back soon, but I'm just like, oh my God.
Oh man, that's going to be a tough one, especially with Chuba Hubbard playing well.
Nah, please. Chuba Hubbard's useless.
No, stop it. He's great for fantasy.
He is not.
He totally is. He's what? Let's see, where's he at right
now? He's probably top 15.
I think he's top 10, buddy. Yeah, he's definitely in the top 10. Another good game. He didn't get in the end zone. But 18 carries, 92 yards. Man, the man is averaging over 5 yards a carry. Who's your stud of the week for yourself?
The stud of the week for myself, it would, the resurgence of Jalen Hurts being able to throw the ball.
Yeah.
He was good for me. Garrett Wilson was a stud. Mm-hmm. George Kittle was a stud.
Mm-hmm.
Just
the names you've been waiting. The names you've been waiting for.
Yeah, the people that you expect to have done well finally said, "Hey, we know how to play this game."
Yeah,
and it's a little too late, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm out in a lot of leagues. I know my guillotine league, I am out because I had Dak Prescott and James Cook going, and yeah.
See, that's not even fair.
That's
not right.
That's brutal. I was like, if I got past this week, I was going to be good. The bye weeks killed me. The Cooper Kupp thing, he's killing me. I mean, it was bad. It was just a bad overall. Yeah. But that's all right. The guarantee league I'm done. I can stop paying attention to that. But the worst one I lost was my daily fantasy one that I had with Rick and Kevin. I lost to Kevin because, the Cowboys. Damn those Cowboys. But, the Cowboys definitely destroyed me this week. But, hey. I did get one victory in fantasy, and I got to beat you.
Yeah.
This was a rough week.
This is one of those years you're like, why do I play this game?
Oh, man. This has been a test of attrition this year, man. This season has been a test of attrition. I'm telling you. You just got to be patient at this point and hope these guys get back healthy because these injuries are just crushing everyone.
How many more weeks are left? We're in week 7 now, so
what are we
week 14? 7 more weeks.
Yep, we're halfway there.
Oh,
yeah, baby, come on now. All right, we're still in it.
No, we're not.
Well, no, not that one. The one that you're just no for. You're kind of out of that one. That one's pretty bad.
Do you see Kevin is 1-5 in both leagues?
Is he really?
Oh my God!
I didn't even notice that.
Yes, he is. He is 1-5.
Wow, man, he's pulling up the rear. Wait a minute, I am 3-3 in redraft, and I'm still in the playoff race.
I'm telling you, man, it's not good out there.
Yeah, it's brutal, and the whole league's just back and forth with losses because of all these friggin' injuries.
I don't think I'm mathematically out of it yet.
No, I don't think. No, you're not. You're not actually. You're not.
I would have to win completely out, I believe, which
Yeah,
would be just
now
stupid.
this year, who knows? That could be quite possible. Quite possible.
I went 7-6 and made the playoffs. What?
Yeah, I'm
After
looking.
losing the first 6 weeks.
I can't believe I'm
Yes.
looking at Kevin's team. This is, man, looking at everybody's scoring totals. Been brutal.
Oh, yeah.
I think the only team that, good God, oh, Nathan, what in the world is going on? You know what? It's just one of those years. Natan is on top in redraft. What?
I think it might be time to, I don't know, get right with Jesus with Nathan being and that high up in both leagues. It might be a sign of impending doom for the world.
I'm telling you, the world's coming crashing to an end. Is Natan is looking good, but all right, whatever. All right, so let's take a look at next week's matchups and see who we like. We'll start off with some key matchups. What do we got here? Thursday night. You like anybody going Denver and New Orleans? The homecoming for one Sean Payton.
Oh, I like New Orleans. I like New Orleans to the home dog.
Yeah,
The over is only 37. I think it's the way both teams, don't really have defenses. I think that's going to go over. I like the home dog. Spencer Rattler, baby, pulling it out.
man, you're really putting hope on that Spencer Rattler.
No, I'm hoping that Bo Nix just does the Bo Nix thing and sucks every other game. This past game he had a good game, so I'm expecting this game is very good.
So anybody in fantasy you're starting from that batch?
Is Kamara hurt? Is he?
He's questionable. It says questionable.
I know Olave is in.
He's probably out.
Protocol.
Yeah, he's probably
He
out
probably
because
won't
it's a short
play.
week.
I don't know. The crap. I can't think of the other receiver for the Saints. It's not she. Is it Shaheed?
No, Shaheed's hurt. Shaheed's out. Looks like Bub Means is really trending right now. Hey man, there's a football name if you ever heard one, buddy. Bub Means. Bub Means. Straight out of Varsity Blues right there. Bub Means.
Yes, it is. Cortland Sutton's probably gonna have a monster game.
Cortland Sutton, yeah, it's that he can see some targets. I think I steer clear of everybody in this game. If Kamara's there, I think you almost have to, even though I don't like it.
Is Taysom Hill going to come back? Is it still questionable?
See, who knows with him? He might be back. He might be coming time. You're gonna have to wait and see on that one. But yeah, I think if I had to, if it was
a great white hype, great white hype.
I think you reach for Taysom Hill, maybe Kamara. Other than that, I think I stay clear. What do you think?
I'm going Spencer Rattler.
You like him as a fantasy start?
I think he's gonna have a good game. I honestly think he's gonna have a good game. I would bet Lee's paycheck on it.
Oh. All right, guys. Well, you hear it. Let's see if Spencer Rattler comes through. We're going to talk about that one next week. That's for sure. Mark that one down.
Mark that one down.
Another London game. You got the Pats and the Jags. Anybody you like going in this one?
Jaguars defense.
Yeah.
They're gonna stay in London. The rookie has to come to town, and I think it's almost a home game for the Jaguars because the owner owns Tottenham.
Yeah.
The football club. So it's almost a home game for Jacksonville. I think the offense is dead for Jacksonville, but their defense is going to show up.
Okay. Yeah, I think you got to play Tank Bigsby. I think that's about it.
Or DeForest, or what's his name? Crap, can't think of his name. The other running back for Jacksonville. DeForest?
DeForest, yeah.
Ernest.
Yeah, Ernest, yeah. Yeah, Darius Johnson, right? Is that it?
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, he could be. Listen, if you're reaching, you're dealing with injuries, he might be playable. I don't know. I don't know if the Travis Etienne experiment's done in Jacksonville. It seemingly seems like it could be. Well, we'll see how bad this injury, because that injury didn't seem that bad, but who knows?
I think it might. I know trade deadline's done pretty much for this year, but he may just need a change of scenery.
Yeah, could be. All right, let's see. Let's hit with a fantasy matchup. Oh, I like this one. How about Seattle and Atlanta?
If Geno Smith could channel somebody that can throw the ball for more than 5 yards, I would love this match.
I know, right? It's been tough going for that offense. I think Geno Smith, this is probably the last leg for him. I think they have to move on. I do like JSN. If you're in a PPR league, I think you got to play him. Kenneth Walker, I think he's a play.
I mean, DK, you can still play DK. Up until the last couple of weeks, he was averaging 100 yards a game, and so, for the first 3 weeks. So I still think you play him. K9 is still rolling good.
Yeah.
That Chardonnay kid is good in short yardage for goal line.
Yeah.
So it's, that's the Seattle side. On the Atlanta side, anybody got Darnell Mooney?
Oh, baby.
Come on.
You got to have yourself some Darnell.
He's been a fantasy stud, man.
He's been a hell of a pick, man.
Flatlining that, but he's been a stud this year.
Hey, I picked him up. I think in a couple of drafts, I picked him up in the last round. There was a couple of drafts I picked him up in the last round. I was just like, you know what? Watching that tape of him in Chicago, he was always open. Justin Fields can't throw him the ball.
Right.
But yeah, I think those guys are all play. Bijan, of course, you're playing Bijan. I think Tyler Algier still is a good play. Yep. Yeah, all right. Should be a high scoring win.
I think you can play pretty much both sides of the ball on that one. There's no one that you're really steering clear of in that matchup. You should be getting points from both sides.
It's the over/under in that game there.
Well, it's got to be 42 at least. It says it's 50.5.
50.5. So yeah, so you're expecting high point totals here. So yeah, you definitely want to play some of these guys. Yeah, Atlanta favored by 2.5.
Yeah, they're playing in Atlanta, so you're not dealing with the 12th man of Seattle. So I think it's
that's a good play.
Easily can fly over if both teams are rolling.
All right, let's look at another matchup here. Let's see, what's another matchup? Let's look at the Houston Green Bay matchup here. Who do you like in this one? Who's playable for you?
Every Houston receiver is always playable. C.J. Stroud's a stud.
C.J. Stroud has been a stud.
Yeah, he's going to get on the ball. I don't like Mixon coming off for this game.
Okay.
No, I don't like Mixon for this game. But however,
Dameon Pierce.
That was last name. Dameon Pierce. Short yardage. Well, I think he's going to come in. He's going to have to come in that big game.
Yeah.
To get past those linebackers that Green Bay has.
All right. Okay.
On the other side, your boy Reed is going to have just another massive day.
Yeah.
On the slot.
I like Jaden Reed. Yeah.
Yeah. Dobbs, if he can keep his mouth shut and not get suspended off the team again.
Yeah, I think you have to. I think you can drop Dontavian Wicks with that injury. If you get a chance to get Christian Watson, if you need somebody as a flyer for a big play, he's going to try to get one. They're going to throw it deep one time to him. They always do, and usually works out. So you could end up with it, especially if you playing in a league with bonuses. That's probably a good play there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, high point total was at 47.5 was the over-under in that game. So that's expected to be another high-scoring game. So, yeah, definitely want to get you some of that action. Play whoever you got in that game for sure.
I think one of the more fun games of the season that's going to come up and watch is going to be the Lions-Vikings. I think that's going to be a fun game to watch.
Yeah, Lions-Vikings. Let's take a look. That should have a lot.
Vikings coming off a bye. Lions just killing the Cowboys.
That's another 49.5 over/under. A lot of scoring. This could be a huge week for fantasy if you got some of these right matchups. Man, yeah.
All of these point totals are massive.
Mm-hmm. This is probably the biggest week. Looking at the over/unders, this is the first week I've seen so many big numbers. Usually it's in the low 40s, high 30s for some games, and then you get maybe one or two that are over 47. There's a lot of high-scoring games that are predicted here. So definitely in Detroit, I think you can play everybody you can. Get your guys Laporta's in play again. It looks like they're trying to, they're coming up with creative ways to get him the ball. Play your Minnesota guys, Justin Jefferson, of course, Sam Darnold. Who else? So you got to who do you like in that backfield? Because it doesn't look like Jones could be ready. I think he might be sidelined. So was it Ty Johnson? Not Ty Johnson. Ty Chandler. He could be a good play this week. Yeah,
maybe Myles Gaskin, short yardage.
God, is Myles Gaskin still playing football?
He's third string on their depth chart.
Man, damn! I didn't even know he was still in the league.
Yeah. So,
but other than that,
Ty Chandler maybe your sleeper pickup.
Chandler could be huge for you, especially if Aaron Jones not going. Huge point total in that, especially man, they throw the ball at the backs in that offense. So Could be a good one. Could be a good one. Let's see. Washington, Carolina. That should be a score fest, man. I'm trying to get everything I can on that league.
I've already put in Jaden Daniels and benched Mr. Hurts.
The points of the over under in this game is 51.5. Holy smokes. The highest point total of the week so far. My God, yeah. Get everything you can in this game because neither team can play defense.
You really, the last time that the Washington had a point spread or a point total that high, they played the Giants and they kicked 7 field goals.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
They seem to play to the level of the opponent. I do like the fantasy matchup on this one. You might have to take this one with a grain of salt there, buddy. This one might,
This could be feast or famine. It's either gonna make you or break you this week. But I think especially with the rookie quarterback, I think you already know what you're gonna get with Jaden Daniels. You know, Terry McLaurin's gonna be a good play.
He is loving McLaurin lately.
Yes, he is feeling McLaurin.
It's like 4 touchdowns in the last 2 games from McLaurin. Yeah. It's sick.
It's amazing.
If you're a scary Terry owner, you're just loving life right now.
Who else you playing from that game? Running back wise, I know Brian Robinson is still questionable. He hasn't seen the field much the last couple of weeks. He got lucky.
Does Antonio Gibson still play for the Washington Redskins?
No, he plays for New England. You're talking Austin Eckler.
Yeah, Eckler.
Eckler's still a play. He's been catching balls out of the backfield. I think he likes his role there. That's why he left the Chargers, because he wanted a smaller role for a smaller guy.
They see him older.
Yeah,
he's like, I can meet this out for a couple more years as long as I don't have to do a lot.
Oh yeah.
So,
all right, the big matchup of the week, I think. I want to see your take. Chiefs-Niners. What do you think happens in this game? Because this could be interesting. With the injuries on both sides of the offensive side of the ball for both teams is awful. I mean, it's awful. Are you taking...
The 49ers want to take revenge out on Patrick Mahomes so badly. It's like palpable when you talk to a 49ers fan when you're talking about the Chiefs.
I'm so curious because this got an over under of 47.5. Who can you play in this game? Who can you play on either side, on either team's offense? Who are you playing?
Oh, I'm playing Kittle.
Yeah.
That dude loves everything about this game.
Yeah, Kittle's a good play. He's been hot lately.
Yeah. Well, you're playing Debo. You're playing Kittle. You're playing Debo.
Can you play Debo?
I don't think you play Ayuk.
Can you play Debo or Ayuk?
Yes, you can play Debo.
Debo's getting like 4 looks a game.
Like they're gonna have to let him run it out of the backfield.
That hasn't looked great this year. I'll tell you that. That hasn't looked fine. He hasn't done much in the run game. And they're only handed it to maybe a few times a game, unfortunately. I mean, we paid him all that money to what? I mean, he's not a great receiver. He doesn't create separation. We paid him all that money because he was a Swiss Army knife, and you don't even use it. Like that Swiss Army knife, you just keep it in your drawer, and you find it 10 years later when you're looking for it. Brutal. He started on that.
I'd play Debo.
I think you play him just because you have to, because there's nobody else left.
Juwan Jennings.
Purdy does not look
Purdy's favorite receiver.
Yeah, you would think so, but unfortunately, the last couple of weeks, very limited on his targets. He's on the field, just not seeing the ball. He's become Alec Pierce of the San Fran 49ers, where he's just running cardio.
He runs some track for me.
On the Kansas City side of the ball, who you playing there?
Who's left on Kansas City? I mean, Travis Kelce looks like a decrepit old man out there.
Kelce, I think you have to play him. Juju Smith-Schuster.
The resurgence of Juju. Yeah. What do you have, like 11 catches?
Oh, it's ridiculous, man. He's getting hyper-targeted now. So I think it's going to be the old man game of Travis Kelce and Juju Smith-Schuster.
You know, Juju was Rashee Rice before Rashee Rice came in. Yeah, I mean, that was his role. He was the intermediate, I'm here, I'm open, throw me the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And he was really good at that role. Just Rashee Rice is better at that role.
Yeah.
which is how he lost his job. But
Yeah.
now that he's back, I mean, he's slipped right into that role, and you saw what he did: 100 yards and 9 catches in the game before the bye week. So it's you got to play him. You got to play Juju.
I think you can play Juju. I'm going to take a flyer, and I think Xavier Worthy has a big game.
Come on.
Yeah.
3 catch Worthy.
Yeah, 3 catch Worthy. I think he's going to end up in the end zone coming off a bye week. They're going to have something that Niners can handle that speed. Their secondary is suspect. A lot of injuries on that secondary. I think you can find some big plays out of Worthy this week.
I think they're just going to keep Hufanga over the top of Worthy. And as the Cincinnati Bengal man said, he's got straight line speed. That's all he can do.
Yeah, I know. The safeties both have been kind of injured, so I'm curious. I think Worthy has a shot at having a big play in there that can help you in fantasy for sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're looking. That's why you play Worthy. He takes a big shot.
Yep.
So, was it either on a reverse, on a straight line fly, or possibly a wide receiver screen that he breaks one tackle and he's gone?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not looking for volume for him. He's there, 30% of target share?
Yep.
I mean, it's not much.
No.
But his big playability is 85% every time.
But that's some of the looks for this week. What about, let's talk some of the news. Big news, of course, Davante Adams out of Las Vegas, going to the Jets. Does this change anything for you on fantasy for the Jets?
For the Jets?
Yeah.
Mike Williams no longer has a job.
Mm-hmm.
For the Jets, yeah. I mean, I think it takes some of the pressure off of Garrett Wilson. And it's going to hinder Garrett Wilson on his red zone looks. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But if they can come back and get that to gel and mesh like they did in Green Bay, it's going to be a nice step up for the Jets. I don't think they're going to do anything like go to the Super Bowl or, maybe make the playoffs and get out in the round 1, but it's going to make their offense click a little bit better. Yeah.
Will this make,
Because
do you think this will make Aaron Rodgers a viable play in fantasy week in and week out?
At times when he's on the field, he looks so old.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'll do something and you're like, oh, he's back. And then like last night, there was like 6 or 7 plays where you're like, oh, that's the Aaron Rodgers of old. And then the next play, it's like, oh, that's Aaron Rodgers being old.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. I honestly don't know if anything will make you think I can stream Aaron Rodgers week in, week out.
Okay.
I mean, if you're super flexed and you have to have a quarterback and they're all gone,
Absolutely.
sure.
Yeah, you're playing Rodgers no matter what. If you're in super flex or a 2 QB league, you're definitely playing. Hell, our 2 QB league, hey, Andy Dalton going, for God's sakes. So, other big news, you got 2 Monday night games again. One exclusively on ESPN Plus. What are your thoughts on this, on how this is starting to become a trend where you can't watch a game unless you're a subscription owner on this one?
It's a big FU to everybody who likes to watch football.
That is, right?
And something I wish I had known before I just canceled my ESPN Plus subscription yesterday, before the game.
Yeah, the game that's on television is the Baltimore-Tampa Bay game. The game that is strictly
that's going to be so good to watch.
It's going to be a good game to watch. The other game I'm not as big on. I don't think it's going to be that great of a game to watch. Is the Chargers and the Cardinals.
Yeah, no. Yeah, as long as they're streaming the game, nobody wants to watch. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just, but when they streamed that one for the playoffs last year,
that was brutal, man.
I know that irritated so many people.
Oh, that was
going to stream a playoff game.
That was a big slap in the face of every NFL fan. And the point is, the worst part about it is they'll do it because they can, and they'll just keep doing it.
Yeah.
So
nobody stops the big shield.
No, nobody's stopping it. They're gonna keep doing what they do. You're gonna keep watching. You're gonna keep paying for these subscriptions just to watch the game you want to watch. Me, I like my little red zone. I'll take my red zone and then I'll watch the condensed versions of the games later on and see what's going on. And yeah, that's how I'll run that. I'll run that way for sure. I'm happy with my My $14 subscription to NFL.com. I am perfectly happy with that.
I didn't get the red zone this year.
Mhm.
It's the first time I haven't had red zone in, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years since it came out. And I'm hating life because I'm stuck with watching the Cowboys get killed.
Yeah.
Or
That's the
no,
worst part. And then
on
and it's
TV.
3 hours of commercials, and then you go down and you watch these condensed games, and it's 40 minutes long of actual action. You're like, man,
Yeah.
that's it. So I'll take my NFL.com subscription. It comes with the red zone package and all the condensed games and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'll take that for what, $14-15 a month.
Yeah, I might have to just re-up that. Just have to re-up that.
I'm not paying for the ESPN Plus stuff, even though, you know, it's tough because of the hockey on there. I love it because of the hockey. Man, I just the prices are starting to get ridiculous. I'm not paying that anymore. I just can't. That's foul.
Yeah, I like watching the other football, and I was watching it with the ESPN Plus because they had coverage of overseas, and
Yeah.
now that Amazon Prime has picked up a lot of that stuff, I'm like, I don't really need it. So
Yeah. No. I know. I think
and then they buy the NFL routes, right?
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah, that's it. There you go. And then I like Premier League. I watch Premier League, so I do have the Peacock, unfortunately, because I like my Premier football on Saturdays and Sundays at 4:30 in the morning.
Hey, you gotta unwind from work if somehow.
So, all right, man. Is there any other matchups you like to look at here this week?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think there's so many point spreads to go over. We could spend
Hours,
20
on this.
minutes on every team.
Yeah, and just too much to go through. I think the waiver wire pickups of the week, I think you got to pick up right now. I mean, with injuries, you're looking at Tyrone Tracy. You got to try to pick him up. Ty Chandler, like we talked about already. Who else? Who's a good wide receiver?
I saw Jordan Addison on our waiver wire.
Yeah, Jordan Addison. He could be available depending on your structure, your league. Remember, we do have a short bench in our leagues, so you do have to make those tough decisions, unfortunately. But I think that's it. And definitely, I think if Chase Brown or any of these guys are still available, I think you need to snag him up because he's going to be solid.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you drop Waddle for Jordan Addison? Do you drop Tyreek Hill for somebody who's getting more target share?
At this point, I know they're expecting to try to get Tua back. They just don't know when. I think I'm okay. I at this point, with Tyreek, I'd rather keep on the bench. But if you can't, I'm absolutely okay dropping him at this point. Because what are you going to hold on to him for his measly 3 catches for 16 yards?
Yeah,
I mean, that's pretty much all you're going to do.
Unless they've got Hundley miraculously learns his playbook, which he hasn't done for any team that he's been on.
Exactly. I don't see this. I don't see this working out. Waddle, especially Tyreek, I'd really like to hold on to just because he has that big play capability. Waddle, I'm definitely okay letting go at this point.
Unfortunately, it's in a dynasty.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It's in
I think that was a terrible trade for both of us. Didn't we trade ETN and Waddle?
Yeah.
That was the ones we swapped, and
Those were the ones we swapped, and we both got
hosed on it. It was a swap for nothing. Here, I'll give you garbage, and you give me the other garbage. There you go.
I don't understand why Miami didn't try to go out and get a quarterback when Tua went down.
That's shocking. I mean, and it's the AFC East.
They could have went to Pittsburgh so easily and gotten Russell from them. I believe they could have gotten Russell for a song.
Yeah, especially when Justin Fields was playing well, like really playing well. And he's not playing terrible, but the passing numbers have definitely dropped over the last couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. So of course, you're one slip up from Justin Fields, and I think you could see Mr. Unlimited back in the game here.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's when Jalen Warren was still hurt, and Najee wasn't doing great. You have 4 running backs. You could have traded the lesser of your 4 running backs and like a 5th round pick and gotten Russell Wilson.
That's
It
true.
would have been nothing. It cost you absolutely nothing
Yeah.
And you could have saved your season. Instead, you want to do what you're doing and look like you're stupid.
No, it's brutal. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they sat on their hands on that one.
No, all right. That's my rant for being a Waddle owner.
All right, big question before we get out of here. Max Crosby, will he be traded? Yes or no?
No, because the trade deadline is going to be in like an hour.
Is it an hour? Yeah, it is in an hour. 1 hour to the trade deadline.
It's 2 hours. It's 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
It's 4 p.m. Eastern, and so by 1 o'clock. So it's 2 hours to get a Max Crosby trade in, and I don't think they're going to have enough time to pull that off.
All right. So your Max Crosby stays with the Raiders. I think that's more wishful thinking than actual fact.
The knife is already in. Let's not just finish me off. Right?
Just twist it a bit.
No,
I for one would like to see him traded. I would just like to see him traded because he's not going to play the rest of the year. He doesn't want to be there. He's done. You guys hired Alec Pierce because he won the locker room. How fast did he lose it? Man.
Oh. Could you imagine if you trade Max Crosby to the Lions and Hutchinson comes back next year and he doesn't lose his step because he's that big, he's that hard of a worker. So you got Hutchinson, you got DJ Reed, and you got Max Crosby. And that's your 3 down line. It's just like, oh.
Man, that's a tasty treat there, buddy. That's a tasty defensive treat.
I'm pulling out my old Lions cap.
I'm telling you, man.
What are you talking about, bandwagon?
I might be jumping on that wagon. What are you talking about? I love Detroit. Love it.
I've been here for years. What are you talking about?
All right, guys. That's all the time we got for today's show. Thanks, big time, man. Thanks for joining me this week.
Appreciate you, buddy.
All right, guys. Hey, guys, always join me on Fridays. I am putting out my starts of the week every Friday. Join me there and also follow me over on all the socials. I am putting media up there on as far as start sits and stats that you may like to see on those social medias. And always remember, get us wherever you get your podcasts. If you can't have time to watch the show, join us wherever you get your audio podcast. We're on Apple, Amazon, YouTube Music. We're on all the platforms. Join us next time. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Hey, it's Jesse from the Vegas Guys Locker Room. You guys ever thought about starting your own podcast? Whether it be for business, personal, or simply talking about the things you love? Well, I can honestly say when we started our podcast, it was the best decision and it's the most fun we've ever had. But starting a new podcast can be overwhelming at times. And that's where Buzzsprout comes in. Buzzsprout is the best way to start your own professional podcast. They're so good, they've already helped out over 100,000 podcasters get their message out to the world. Buzzsprout offers you so many tools, like a great-looking podcast website, audio players that you can drop into other websites, detailed analytics to see how people are listening, and tools to promote your episodes, and more and more and more. Buzzsprout even gets your show listed on every major podcast platform, such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. They provide so many tools to help you get started with tutorials on YouTube, podcast tutorials, everything you may need to get your journey started. So if you're looking to start your professional podcast today, follow the link in the show notes. This lets Buzzsprout know that we sent you and help support our show. Buzzsprout, the easiest way to start a podcast.